space, time, infinity, reality. No, I am not talking about the Infinity Stones. There are entities out there, in the multiverse, that can control those aspects of existence, with no need for objects or weapons to help them. These are considered cosmic entities, or you could just call them gods if you wish. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. All that matters is that their power is simply unfathomable to beings like us. But let me try, at the very least, to give you a glimpse into their strength. Alien X has complete control over space and time, as he shows in his first appearance, when he turns back time. Celestial sapiens, which are the species he is part of, are also capable of growing to the size of galaxies and create clones of themselves, as we see when Ben fights another celestial sapien. This fight is also impressive from a skill perspective, because his opponent is a multiversal gladiator, specifically tasked to win in trial by combat on a interdimensional scale, showing that Alien X isn't just mindlessly powerful, but an expert in hand-to-hand combat. But obviously, that's just a little bit of his power, as we do see him being able to survive the universe being completely destroyed. And not only that, but then he goes ahead and creates the universe again within seconds. Well, what we perceive as seconds, because remember, as all space and time was erased, Alien X was actually moving in a place without time. And the feat is not some outlier or fluke, as Feedback, an alien weaker than Alien X, was able to redirect an entire explosion of the Annihilarch. An explosion that was going to be the Big Bang and was going to create the universe. Actually, this is the exact same device that destroyed the universe before Alien X recreated it. Now, to be fair, a fusion of Alien X and Atomics did get erased by a Chronosapien time bomb. But one, that bomb doesn't only destroy a universe, but all timelines in the multiverse.
Designed to wipe other timelines from existence.
Which one?
All of them.
The trunk is the main timeline. These branches represent alternate timelines, where reality literally branches off and becomes a different timeline.
Of which there is an infinite number of.
Cross-time is made up of parallel versions of the history we know. A world where you didn't have to destroy the Omnitrix to defeat Vilgax.
Etc.
Ad infinitum.
It's hero time!
So that is arguably infinitely stronger. And two, that was a fusion with Alien X in it, meaning that it was actually weaker than Alien X himself, as it had its DNA merged with a weaker life form. In actuality, Clockwork, an inferior transformation, was able to undo the infinite timelines being erased by the bomb, so it wouldn't really make sense for Alien X to be weaker than it. If anything, it proves he should be stronger than it, as it's multiple times stated that he is Ben's strongest alien. And also, with just a fraction of his power, Ben broke through a barrier created by the five-dimensional beings, Contamelia, who used the Annihilarch to create universes from the Wide Void, or destroy universes if they are already in place. Eternity is one of the most powerful characters in fiction, in the grand scheme of things. The embodiment of time and the universe. A being containing infinite universes and mathematical dimensions. That is the power of Marvel Comics' Eternity. However, in this video, I'm referring to the MCU version of this character, as it feels more fair, and also it's easier to quantify, as MCU doesn't have decades upon decades of contradictory information to go through. It only has 2 decades of that. So to begin, he's at the very least stronger than any god in the universe, as he was going to kill all of them when Gore almost wished it into existence. This is impressive because of what Kanju does in episode 3 of Moon Knight. He is able to move the constellations in the sky to turn them back so they can show how the sky looked thousands of years ago. This alone is arguably galaxy level. As Eternity has complete control over time and... Okay, this is something that bothers me. Even though he looks like space, with stars and planets, and even though it is the embodiment of the universe or the multiverse, depending on which version you're talking about, this entity only embodies time. And his sister Infinity embodies space. And the names make sense. Eternity equals time, Infinity equals space. But I swear Marvel always treats Eternity like he embodies both of them. And even in the MCU, Eternity is treated as so much more important than its sibling. It's very strange. Why does he look like this when he embodies time and not space? Why is he so much more powerful and important when he should be equal to his sister? It doesn't make a lot of sense, I don't think. Sorry for my tangent. Anyway, the Infinity Stones, when put together, can erase and reshape the whole universe, as Thanos was going to do so. And there's even evidence that suggests they can straight up destroy the universe. But hey, there's more. With all the Infinity Stones, Ultron was able to kill all life in his universe and then fight the Watcher, a being described as fifth dimensional, with their fight raising havoc across the whole multiverse, with each punch breaking through reality itself. The Watcher is even one of the statues alongside Eternity in Love and Thunder, with Eternity being at the center of them all, signifying his importance and power compared to the others. So how do you deal with 2 celestial beings with complete control over space and time on an immeasurable scale? Well, believe it or not, you measure it. One argument that is obscure, but I still see it from time to time, is that Dormammu is actually 11-dimensional due to this one statement from the art book for the first Doctor Strange movie. However, this doesn't really work when you pay attention to what it actually says in the text. The statement is that they thought about making him 11-dimensional, and also it's talking about his design, not his actual quote-unquote power scaling. And it doesn't say that they did, it just says that they thought about it. Also, this is an art book, which I think is fair to take information from, but when it comes to something as world-changing as this, I think you would need at least a secondary source to back it up. Just like you don't take statements about Alien X being able to destroy the universe or multiverse at face value, but use them to solidify an already existing argument with pre-existing evidence. I think it's pretty fair to say that they both have universe level scaling, as one is the embodiment of the universe, one was able to survive the universe being destroyed and recreated it, so I don't think that's controversial. But it goes way beyond that, because they both have some 5-dimensional feats, one with the Quantumelia barrier for Alien X, and one being arguably stronger than the Watcher, who is described as being 5-dimensional. However, where I think Alien X might be able to take the slight edge is within the fact that it is stated by this cosmic entity that there are 20 plus spatial dimensions within the Ben 10 multiverse. Meaning that all the statements about Alien X being able to destroy the multiverse, about Celestial Sapiens being omnipotent, about how Celestial Sapiens are strong enough that they change the art style of the show.
We all know that Celestial Sapiens change the universe as often as my client changes his shirt. Celestial Sapiens change the universe all the time. Why, even First Thinker Adsma's voice and appearance has changed on at least 3 occasions.
And how the Forge of Creation is so important, that is the place of birth of ideas themselves. I think a 20 plus dimensional structure like the Ben 10 multiverse gives Alien X the edge over Eternity in the MCU, where at the most you could say it's 5 or 6 dimensional. Not only that, but we don't even know if the Eternity we see in the movie is the Eternity for the whole multiverse or just the main timeline. As in the comics universe, there is an Eternity for each universe, as well as something called multi-eternity, which embodies the whole multiverse. And we don't have the information to decide if the Eternity we see in Love and Thunder is the one embodying the whole multiverse or just the universe. So if you ask me, due to Ben 10's superior cosmology and number of higher dimensions, I will say, in my opinion, that he would defeat Eternity as it stands.